principles that are taught with the Weigh Down diet that have worked for me, that work for my patients, have caused permanent weight loss in both myself and my wife. I've lost 50 pounds, my wife has lost over 100 pounds. The principles that are taught within the Weigh Down diet are physiologically based. They have a sound basis in science to eat when you're hungry and to stop when you're full. Weigh Down diet has been around for more than 20 years and has obviously withstood the test of time.
It had such widespread acceptance in the medical community that eventually it influenced the Surgeon General and also the Center for Disease Control, showing that they're in complete support of what's been taught here for 20 years. Take your time, slow down, eat when you're hungry, and make sure that you are eating smaller proportions. Has it lost its momentum over the last 20 years? Absolutely not. We've been around for so long that we are on the second generation. Here's an article published just this past month in Shape magazine. On the front is Anna Lynn McCord. She's very thin and shapely and credits Weigh Down. She tells of how her mom lost 45 pounds and kept it off. She tells of how she was brought up in Georgia around fried foods and fatty foods, but her mom taught her Weigh Down and taught her how to eat like a thin eater.
We have been able to pass it down to our children. They are passing it down to their children. I know that they will be passing it down to their children. This is unstoppable because it's the truth.
It is true that this can be passed on to the next generation.
They've never had to deal with it. They've never had to deal with overweight. And it is so wonderful.
We know you really care and want to help your children and grandchildren so that they never go through the pain of overweight, the ridicule, the shame, and the hurt, and the grieving of obesity, or the health risk and the danger of anorexia, bulimia, or overweight.
I was a very overweight child. Just remember being very much in pain in my heart, being called names. I was very frustrated. I did top out in 8th grade at 170 pounds. I remember just the feeling of just absolute shame and embarrassment. I'm now at the size that I can't even remember being at because I was such an overweight child. I do feel permanently set free from this. I just feel so much joy in my heart and so much hope for my family that that pattern of overeating has stopped.
Since we have been around for so long, we have been copied. However, I can confidently tell you that no other program has more experience or better results.
I have tried it all, from diets to my own diets, to personal trainers, to 12-step programs, to treatment centers. None of it worked, and this is it.
The first class that I went through, I knew that this was it. This was the answer. I would never do anything ever again.
If you've ever tried to lose weight and keep it off, well, you know how frustrating it can be. Well, the current issue of Good Housekeeping has some inspiration for you. Carmen Tedder lost, are you ready for this, 102 pounds. Carmen, come on out. And you are on the cover of Good Housekeeping, holding a pair of pants stretched out to here, and look at you. Incredible. What worked for you, Carmen?
The Weigh Down workshop worked for me. It taught me to fall out of love with food and into love with God. And so now when I'm depressed or mopey, I go to God for those emotions and I only eat when I'm truly physically hungry.
Yes, it is that time for Look at Me Now, the Joy Fit Club, and our newest member who's kept off 160 plus pounds. She is 38-year-old Jill Snap, a mother of 2 from Tennessee, who lost more than half her size and gained a whole new life.
When I think back of all those years that I was overweight, what hurts me the most is how much of life I missed.
Okay, Jill, it's time for your big moment. Come on out. Gosh! Oh, wait, let me look at you. Oh, no, it is not you.
No other program has the knowledge and the materials on how to get the complicated and emotional human being to change his or her behavior, to end years of binge eating, grazing, bulimia, binge drinking, dieting, and all the behaviors of an overeater, and turn them toward thin eating. Thin eaters only eat when their stomachs growl, and they stop eating when they're full. They eat less overall.
The best feeling is when you get up from a meal and you know you haven't overeaten.
Their proportions are smaller, and they know what their body is calling for. You will return to eating like you did as a child, free from the worry about what you are eating, and with a lot more interest in other things besides food.